Today on DNVR Buffs Live, Brennan Marion's kicking it old school for week 1 versus Georgia Tech. We'll explain that and everything else Coach Marion and Chris Marve said on the podium. Final matchups for the preseason. Colorado season finale versus UCF. Scotty, we freaking made it. Week 0 picks today on the show. Let's go. Nation Squad. Welcome into the Xfinity studio. It is time for DNVR Buffs Live. 1 week. That's all we have left until the Buffs kick off against the Yellow Jackets. How we feeling, Scotty?
I am feeling oh so close. I can almost reach out and touch. Week 1. Right now, man. 7 days away. Cam Perry days away. Brandon Fontaine days away from kickoff against Georgia Tech, man. It is really almost here, man. And hearing from both of these Colorado coordinators today, man, it's that time.
We're ready.
They are so ready to lace it up. They are so ready to see what their respective units look like against a different color jersey for the first time all year. And so am I, man. The closer we get to September 3rd, man, the more I think that that's going to be a legendary night, straight up.
The vibes are up and the confidence is, I think, at a peak for this offseason at this point in time.
Yeah.
It's
100%.
time to just put on the chin strap, put in the mouthpiece, get ready to go hit someone else in a different colored jersey.
Shout out to everybody in the chat, man. It seems like they're excited as well. They can feel the palpable feeling.
Turn up with us, chat.
Let's go.
Come on.
Let's go.
Hit that like button.
Straight up.
Today on the show, week 0 picks.
Let's go.
I'm back as a human. Completely back.
I feel it, bro. I hear it in your voice, bro.
This is what I live for.
My boy got the backwards hat on today. You know what I'm saying? That boy ready to go. Let's go.
We're also going to do our final preseason matchup, Colorado season finale versus UCF. We'll go through those matchups. How do the Buffs look in that late season matchup as well? Everything Brennan Marion and Chris Marve said after practice, but we've got no time to waste. Brennan Marion is going old school for week 1 against Georgia Tech. Now, what does that mean, Scotty?
What does that mean? It's when you think of a question, you can relate to this, right? When you think of a question that you're going to ask a coordinator, a coach, a player, and you kind of in your mind when you think of that question, you like kind of think about what the answer might be. And rarely do you get an answer that like, that's what I was looking for.
Yeah.
We got that today. I got that today from Brennan Marion when I asked him about how different preparation is for a season opener as opposed to the rest of the schedule, right? When, the rest of the year you can look back at last week's tape. You can look at what that team, that specific unit looks like that season. But for a season opener, it's different, right? Especially in Georgia Tech's case where they have, a new defensive coordinator. And Brennan Marion kind of talked about the fact instantly, he admitted that last year was the first time in his career where he felt that his approach to the first game to week 1 was not right. And obviously they didn't come out successful, right? Last year, Sac State opened the season against South Dakota State, a really good FCS program.
Yep.
Sac State only scored 3 points in that opener last year, which is a very stark difference from his previous season openers as a Colorado, not as a Colorado, but as an offensive coordinator, as a play caller. Even with that 3-point performance last year at Sac State with Brennan Marion calling plays, in season openers, when Brennan Marion is the OC or play caller, his offenses average 29.8 points per game. That's 30 points a game in season openers. And if you take out last year's, 3-point performance, it's over 35 points a game in season openers. And that's, 5 or 6 games, depending on if you want to count last year. And he talked about it. He goes, like I said, last year was the first time he felt like his approach to week 1 wasn't right. But every other year prior, he goes, we stalked our opponent. We made sure we knew every nuance, every single detail about them. And he goes, this year, I just went back to my old school approach of what got us the biggest upset in college football history, which, as we know, that's when Brennan Marion was the OC at Howard, his first Division I coaching opportunity.
Yep.
As 45.5-point underdogs, they beat UNLV
on the road,
dropping 43 on their head with Cam Newton's little brother, Kalen Newton. And if Brennan Marion is going to prepare like he did for that game and for the season openers after that for Georgia Tech, I have a feeling this offense is going to hit that 30-point threshold again next Thursday. And as we know, in the Coach Prime era, when Colorado scores 30-plus points, they are undefeated, 10-0.
It's exciting, man. It's finally time to, the rubber's finally meeting the road here. And I think Brennan Marion might be the most excited out of anyone.
Yeah.
Because he gets to finally showcase what he's been cooking for the last 8 months or so.
Oh,
and
me.
As someone mentioned in the chat, I mean, just go back and watch his previous go-go attacks. And
Yes.
what immediately stands out is how versatile they are. This is clearly the most amount of talent I think he's had, other than maybe when he was a wide receivers coach at Pitt or at Texas, right? And even then, what the possibilities of what they have here with what we've seen from this offensive line, the wide receivers, although they aren't at their healthiest right now, they're going to be able to go and make some big plays. We've got the clip from Brennan Marion talking about this as well, so you guys can hear it for him. Here he is on the prep for GT.
Yeah, I think last year was the first year that my approach of the first game was not right, and obviously we didn't come out successful. Every other year prior, we stalked our opponent and and made sure we knew every nuance and every single detail about them. Last year, I was just so much focused on trying to get our guys right and make sure that they, played the way we wanted to play. This year, I just went back to my old school approach of, what got us the biggest upset in college football history when I first got into it at Howard. It was to stalk your opponent, to know every single thing about him, know every call he ever made, and to give the kids the best chance to win versus the looks that guy's presented in the past. But because we all have things that, we've done before as coaches. So, our approach going into game one will just be to make sure that we play to the standard that we want to play in, and then also have,
Awesome stuff from Brennan Marion today.
Straight up. And honestly, I think it takes a real man to admit I didn't have the right approach for that game last year. I think it takes a real man to admit that publicly like that, when, again, I wasn't directly asking him about that specifically. So I appreciate that honesty. And also, I think you can easily explain away that 3-point performance last year in the season opener. One, you kind of alluded to it, the talent level at Sac State, particularly at quarterback early in the year. They didn't have it figured out. Obviously, they also at Sac State were learning the go-go for the first time.
Yep.
And also, too, and he kind of alluded to it, he was like, he was more focused on making sure his team plays the way he wants it to play. And it's a big difference, that was obviously his first head coaching opportunity at the college level. And that's a big difference, a big adjustment, from an OC, where you just have to worry about your quarterback room or your offense as opposed to, the entire roster and how they perform and whatnot. So I loved everything about that Brennan Marion said today as it relates to that preparation. And I wrote a story about that today, kind of talking about it. Y'all go check it out on thednvr.com on our site. Make sure you're a diehard. Become a diehard right now. It's the perfect time to do so. But I would assume, and I think it's safe to assume, that Brennan Marion has spent a lot of time watching Southern Miss tape this offseason.
Why is that?
Because that's where Georgia Tech's new defensive coordinator came from. He was Southern Miss's defensive coordinator last year at Southern Miss, Jason Seymour. And, just kind of looking at some of the stats, a couple of things that stood out to me. They really took the ball away, Southern Miss's defense last year. They led the Sun Belt in interceptions. But on third down, they struggled. They struggled getting off the field. Third worst in terms of third down percentage on defense. They gave up the most third down conversions in the entire Sun Belt last year.
That's not controlling the clock. That
is not controlling the clock. And especially if you can get into 3rd and 2, 3rd and 3, which we know this offense is kind of set up to do with how they run the football.
Yep.
If that trend continues from Seymour defenses to Georgia Tech this year, that could make for a game where Colorado is the one controlling the clock.
Yeah.
Unlike Georgia Tech and what we know Brent Key wants to do.
On that, a lot of the hype in the chat is about seeing this Colorado run game being unleashed again. And here's what Coach Marion had to say about the offensive line. A lot's been said about this offensive line, but Brennan Marion has a certain standard that he's made sure to institute throughout spring and fall camp.
violence and effort up front. I mean, in the trenches, it just has to be nasty. There's only one way that it can be up there. You can work on all the cute stuff, your footwork, your pass set. But if you're not violent, if you're not attacking off the ball, if you're not trying to, take another man against his will and take his soul, then you just can't be on our offensive line. So everybody who will go out there will have that mentality. We won't put anybody out there that does not have, I'm trying to maul and crush the guy.
It's straight up and clear. The standard for playing offensive line, for running the football at CU, is to just dominate the person in front of you.
Yeah.
Be a nastier, meaner football player. Play with, bad intentions, to put someone in the dirt on every play, to, as Brennan Marion said, take their soul, man. Like, make them give up on the field. Make them not want to line up against you.
Yeah.
That is the standard Colorado is walking into Georgia Tech with.
100%, man. If you're not a soul snatcher, you can't play on my offensive line. You feel what I'm saying? And I feel like this unit up front, particularly offensively, like, they have guys who that is their MO. Like, that's in their DNA. The Chauncey Goodens, the Javon McFadden's, like the Yo-Yo Atias to a certain extent as well.
Sure.
Like, both your options at center, I believe, as well, and Demetrius and Sean Kinney. And even Bo Hughley, who, Gunnar White, said earlier this offseason, is burying folks in practice. So as we know, I mean, this is football standard. You can't do much without the big boys up front, but particularly in this go-go offense where they are in many ways the engine for this run game. You got to have those guys, and it seems like they do, with that mentality of it's got to run through us.
Right.
And if it's going to run through us, it's going to be a physical, violent style.
Without a doubt. I guess one of the other real headlines to come out from Brennan Marion today, he named a starting quarterback, Scotty.
Really?
He did. So let's talk about it.
Let's talk about it.
With our friends over at Taco Bell. Make sure you pick up a Buffs box at any participating Front Range Taco Bell store today. A lot of people were hoping to hear a naming of the starting quarterback, but we were very close to not even getting that if no one asked today. But why do you think it's a big deal? Why people need to hear Coach Marion or Coach Prime, anyone, name the starting quarterback?
My take on it is that the Denver Broncos didn't come out and say, Bo Nix is our starting quarterback for the 2026 season. The Kansas City Chiefs didn't come out, Patrick Mahomes is our starting quarterback for the 2026 season.
Although that one, because of injury.
Just stop. Like, Juju is the quarterback of this team.
Yes.
He is the face of this program in a lot of ways. And I think
he's on the Buffs box, damn it.
It's second year running.
Yeah, come on.
You feel what I'm saying? And I feel like when the news broke this offseason that Isaac Wilson was transferring to Colorado, that had backup written all over it. And it's not a knock on him at all.
Of course.
We've seen him play football.
He had a backup as his last stop.
Exactly. He didn't play behind, two young guys, relatively. And a true freshman in Bert Ficklen's case last year. Like, he is a good backup and one of the most experienced, I would assume, in the Big 12 in terms of backup, starts and, just playing time. So Juju was always the starter of this team, to the point where it didn't need to be said.
Yep.
And anybody wondering if it was Juju or waiting for an announcement, I think not really tapped in. Or not really paying attention, not really watching, well off, or listening to these press conferences when Brennan Marion, talks about his quarterback room and specifically his QB1, Julian Lewis. So, it didn't need to be said. And I think Brennan Marion feels the same way, because when he was asked to confirm whether Juju is going to be the starter, he had one word to say: yes. Because how do y'all not know that? You know what I'm saying? And I understand maybe people wanting to hear it, but again, when you're the guy, you're the guy.
Yep.
And you don't really need extra announcement or just putting it out there. People just wanted to hear it, I feel like, which I don't think was necessary.
I mean, you just cooked. I don't really have much to add. We don't need to have a ceremony and throw flowers at his feet to, anoint him as the starting quarterback, right? Like, I think it's been obvious since the spring game, even before that, in many ways, in my opinion. But if you want to talk about true on-the-field competition, Juju just flat out outplayed Isaac in the spring game.
Yes.
And any conversation about Isaac which was completely out of bounds in my opinion. Starting over Juju at any point in time should have died at that point.
Yeah.
Going into fall camp, there was no questions asked in my opinion.
Like if you consistently watch the DNVR Buffs live show, you would have never came away from any episode wondering,
yes,
I wonder if you would have done that.
Yes. So that didn't have to be said, but it was said. And I guess now we can actually full steam ahead, keep this thing rolling because, surprise, surprise, Julian Lewis is Colorado's starting quarterback. That is, let's talk about it. Big topic for some, maybe not for others, but we've talked it out. Let's take our first break. We will get to what Chris Marve said, the rest of media from Coach Marion, and much more. Shout out to our friends over at Common Spirit Health, where they're more than just hospitals and clinics. This is a team of passionate and expert caregivers dedicated to your well-being, woven into the very fabric of yours and our community out here in Colorado. Listen, football season starting up, school starting back up. Now is the time. If you haven't done it anytime recently, go get yourself checked out, man. Make sure you're all good to go. You never know when you're going to need to spend more attention taking care of your health. So be proactive with it. Make sure you're up to date with everything so that we can all get through this football season happy, healthy, and back together again. From preventive care to advanced surgical solutions, they got skilled physicians and caring staff here for you. They got 20 hospitals and 240 clinics and care sites right here in Colorado. Whether it's managing whether it's a routine checkup, managing a chronic condition, or responding to an emergency, you can trust Common Spirit to deliver care close to home. Experience the difference compassion makes. Find a Common Spirit location near you and discover a new standard of health and healing by visiting mountain.commonspirit.org. Common Spirit Health, official healthcare partner of the mighty Denver Broncos.
And shout out to the squad, our OGs, our good friends over at Breckenridge Brewery, man. Y'all already know that we love our Breck beers here at DNVR. And that Breckenridge Brewery is the official craft beer of DNVR, man. Breckenridge Brewery, Jakey, is always going to hold a special place in my heart.
No doubt.
You know why?
Why?
The farmhouse. I had my first
Your
meatloaf ever at the farmhouse with our friends over at Breckenridge Brewery, man. Go check it out, man. Fire drinks, fire food as well, man. And you can get a Breck brew, man. They got a Breck brew for any occasion, man. You know what I'm saying, man? Some of my favorites, man, the Avalanche Amber Ale, the Mile High City, of course, the Broncos Country Pale Ale. My personal favorite, the Fun Slinger, man. They've been doing it for over 33 years, and all their beers are made with 100% renewable energy. So check out the beer locator at breckbrew.com to find a brew near you.
All right, following up with the rest of media and what Coach Marion had to say today. I asked him, we've heard a lot this week about how the go-go offense, the last 2 weeks really, how the go-go offense has helped out Colorado's defense, especially in terms of preparing for Georgia Tech. It turns out, I think Colorado's defense is, this is truly iron sharpening iron. Colorado's defense has helped the offense form an edge, it sounds like. That's what Brennan Marion talked about. It's the physicality. It's the holding, the grabbing on the receivers downfield. It's, making sure that you got to fight to get out of your break to go across the middle or whatever it might be. Or in the run game's case, like, you better come ready. If you're, your number's called and you're toting the rock, like, you're going to get popped by one of these guys, and you might need to, get a head start on figuring out how to bounce off tackles, stay upright, and keep, churning out extra yardage. In both cases, for the offense, for the defense, and the defense for the offense, that's how Georgia Tech wants to play, man. They're going to be physical on both sides of the ball. They're going to be multiple on offense. And so I think that, really in some ways you couldn't have asked for a better opponent in terms of what you've seen from this team in camp and what they're preparing for, and also in terms of the test and what it would mean for their season, obviously, as well, too.
No doubt about it, man. I think the respect that these two coordinators have for each other from like a football acumen, a football IQ standpoint is really cool. And it's also really high, that respect level, because they have both obviously different paths, talking about Marion and Marve in the coaching ranks, but both very accomplished. And they have seen a lot of football, coached a lot of good football as well. And, I think the styles, kind of clashing throughout the offseason with obviously, Brennan Marion and the go-go and, Chris Marve and kind of the physical, violent style, that he wants his defense to play, I think is going to benefit both units in a week. Truly. Yeah. And we've heard it from both players and coaches. Chris Marve was talking about the opposite side of it today in terms of, what makes Brennan Marion such a good play caller. And he goes, you don't know what you're going to get.
Mm-hmm.
He goes, good luck figuring it out. He goes, guys better have their eyes in the right place, but you just don't know. He's hyper creative and innovative. And that is what keeps defenses on their toes, particularly in a week 1 setting when, like, what is Jason Seymour pulling up to prepare for the go-go? Is he pulling up Sac State last year? I think there is going to be some carryover, but the step up in talent that Brennan Marion now has at his disposal is just going to allow him to be so much more exotic and creative. And I think it's going to be really, really difficult, especially early on, for Georgia Tech to get a handle on some of the looks, all the motion, and the different personnel groupings that Brennan Marion is going to throw out there.
No doubt. He was asked also about, 3 of his guys that he brought over from Sac State for this go-go offense. And what he's seen from them. Ernest Campbell, he said he's really turned it on at camp. He's gotten back to what makes Ernest special. Basically, the way he was talking about him, he is without a doubt Colorado's #1 deep threat. He says every great football team has a deep threat to take the top off of a defense. He's also got get out of jail free card speed. I love that.
I love that too.
On Damian Henderson, he could not, say enough about what he's seen from him as a person and how he's developed in that regard. Over there, always said he's been a good football player.
Right.
It's just kind of, this is a guy who grew up in Compton, California. You know what I mean? Like, he's had to go through and he's seen a lot in his young life. So the fact that he's just been able to mature and become a more consistent, person every day, I think that's going to be pretty telling for the type of running style that we see from him this year. And Jaquel Smith. He said Jaquel can do anything with the football. He makes the same runs he made at Sac State. He makes them in practice every single day. And said that, this is a guy that he couldn't really believe they had him at Sac State last year. The guy who actually found him is now working at Auburn, bringing talent in at an SEC program. So those 3, the way he talked about them, those 3 guys are going to have a big impact on next week's game.
100%, man. The familiarity, like he knows what he's going to get out of those guys, even with them kind of, taking a step up in, the level of competition. I've been saying it, man. Jaquel Smith, I don't know how many touches. I mean, I'll put Ernest Campbell in this category. Like, we don't know how many touches they're going to get in a given game. Mm-hmm. Like, it might be 6 total between the 2 of them. But those could be 3 field-flipping, game-changing plays with their explosiveness, their speed, Ernest Campbell's track speed, the get-out-of-jail-free card speed. Like, those are going to be difference makers for an offense that is going to, I think, have a lot of explosives. Dion, if you can just scroll up in the chat a little bit, I thought that a little bit more Coolidge, 2010 Colts, I think brings up a good point. He goes, shout out to both teams, though, for not playing a tune-up game in week 1. And it was Brennan Marion who talked about it. So did Chris Marve. They both talked about how they know a lot of coaches on this Georgia Tech staff. And, they talked about, Marion specifically about facing a physical football team that is about the right stuff, that is well coached. Obviously a quality opponent. And he goes, quote, to be a real guy, you have to play a real guy.
Yep.
And if Colorado's scheduled, a lot of people have a lot of thoughts on the schedule, right? Colorado's and even, Buff fans in terms of, 3 Power 4 opponents out of conference, or right?
Only 2 this year.
Two, but 3 of their first 4 on the road, yes. Right? But it gives you an opportunity to, like I said, things I've been saying recently, like change the narrative. Yeah. Like you open up at a Weber State, you handle business against them. Nobody is looking at Colorado any differently.
Literally 0 people care.
Exactly right. But you come out against Georgia Tech on the road, a team that went 8-4 last year, a team that you lost to at your place last year, and you kind of check all the boxes that people are looking for in terms of the physicality, stopping the run, running the football against a quality opponent. That's how the narrative changed. That's how people start to see your program different. So this is an excellent opportunity for this program, and I think they recognize it and realize it as well.
Without a doubt. On to Chris Marve we go. He was basically asked overarching view of fall camp, and he dropped, in my opinion, one of the bars of fall camp. Heard a lot about identity, right? Reinforcing identity and making sure that, they're making sure that they know who they are on defense, and their style of play is very important to Chris Marve.
Play style.
He just simply goes, Identity fortification has certainly occurred. I love that.
I love
Sounds like
those
a drill
combination
sergeant
words.
talking like that.
No, straight up.
On what he sees when he watches Georgia Tech, you mentioned the common ties with him playing in or coaching the ACC before, and knowing some of those coaches. Physical, coach well, and hungry. On his defensive style play, said, we fundamentally believe it's not the play call, it's the play style. Football is about matchups. Defensive football is about play style. We want to make sure we're putting the right people in the right position and playing the right way. We actually have him on Brent Key. Obviously, it was 2 seasons ago in
2024, but I think they played prior to that as well. I think they played a couple times.
Yeah, so he's got a lot of experience against Brent Key. Here's what Chris Marve had to say.
Absolutely clean slate. What happened in the past is the past. Football is what happens right now, what's in front of you. So tremendous amount of respect for their head coach. Again, having coached against him, prepared against him, recruiting against him. I know exactly what he believes and what he's preaching to his guys. And so looking forward to the opportunity.
I think that last part is interesting. I know exactly what Brennan Key is preaching to his guys and coaching them to do. Like, that is what happens when you face a coach, you're familiar with a coach that you've seen coach play against 2-3 times.
Yep.
And I'll bring it up again because I think it's worth repeating. 2024, 2 seasons ago, Chris Marve's defense is the Virginia Tech's defensive coordinator. Went up against Georgia Tech, Brennan Key, shut him down. Haynes King didn't play that game, but Aaron Philo did. Mm-hmm. And Aaron Philo is the starting quarterback of Florida now.
Yep.
The guy that Buster Faulkner wanted and brought with him to
Handpicked.
Gainesville. Exactly right. Absolutely shut him down. Georgia Tech scored 6 points, 2 field goals, both in the first half. Shut him out in the second half.
Rushing yards total?
Rushing yards total for Georgia Tech, 96.
That wins.
10 times out of 10. 2.9 yards a carry.
Mm-hmm.
That wins. Again, a lot of people, when I posted that earlier this year, they were like, well, Haynes King didn't play that game. Brother, Haynes King not playing next Thursday.
Yeah.
He gone. and I would say, and I think anybody would argue that as well, if you watch a game last year, Haynes King was the difference in that game last year.
Without a doubt, the
Point
player
blank
of the
period.
game. Yeah.
Point blank, 3 rushing touchdowns, ran for, I think, 150
At
plus.
least.
He was a difference in that game. And unless you're expecting Alberto Mendoza in his first career start to look even remotely close to what Haynes King did look like in that game or at certain points last year, then God bless you. And I think it'll be exciting to see.
Without a doubt, man. Last clip from today. Here is Coach Marve talking about going up against Brennan Marion, the play caller, and what makes him such a great play caller.
You don't know what you're going to get. Good luck figuring it out. Our guys better have their eyes in the right place. Has certainly helped us shore up some rules for us defensively. But you just don't know. So he's hyper creative, innovative in that way. He challenges guys so he gets the most out of his guys. And so, man, I respect that.
This just seems like a great coordinator duo. They seem to play off each other really well, and you can tell that those practices are probably so competitive.
No, straight up.
Between them. Really, the last thing from Chris Marve is he says the process is still, quote, ongoing to determine who will wear the green dot on defense for CU's defense. What do you make of that?
Coach Marve really likes Tyler Martinez.
Mm-hmm.
So do I. So do you.
He was named player of practice. It was either yesterday or today. It was the most recent well-off video.
Today, and I think recently that's happened a couple of times where, Coach Prime was, who had a good day today, and Chris Marve, T Dollar.
Yeah.
Multiple times recently.
Yep.
And obviously you and I put out our projected starters on Twitter today. We'll kind of flesh it out and talk about it on the show next week with RK. But I know you believe if they have 3 linebackers on the field, that Tyler Martinez is obviously going to be there. I think regardless, he's part of their best 11. And I think Chris Marve certainly believes that. And I think he could be a candidate to wear that green dot and be the elite communicator that he is, that I know he is. Obviously, we all very much believe in Gideon, and, Leonga's going to play a ton.
Gideon plays weak side, though.
Yeah, I think it very well could be Tyler Martinez. I think that's my pick right now. What do you think?
I agree. Again, I think he's told us before, he likes playing will. He likes kind of being, I guess, the chaser, being that backside contained guy, being able to, play sideline to sideline and be a little bit more free. And I just always figured it'd be Leonga or Tyler playing Mike, whichever of them is in the game at that point in time. Even if it is, a 4-2-5, I'd expect Tyler to be out there with Gideon, and he'd be the one with the green dot at this point. But
100%.
we'll see. I mean, I don't know. You've seen guys do it different before, whether it's a safety who has it or maybe it is Leonga. Who knows? Or Gideon. But we'll find out for sure.
Yeah.
Next week. That's kind of it for media. So we will get to UCF picks and much more on the other side of this break. Shout out to our friends over at Taco Bell, the legends. We're back promoting Taco Bell's Buffs Box, baby. If you know when the Buffs Box comes around, it is time for football season, and it is pretty much the same with a different look, right? Even some players are coming back. Julian Lewis is back, but you can find newcomers. DeAndre Moore, Kalen Taylor's back, and DeAndre's Texas teammate Leonga Leafau on the cover or on the cups for this year's Buffs Box. It's still the Taco Bell favorites you've come to know and love. An elite, one of the best menu items they have, cheesy gordita crunch, a beefy 5-layer burrito, 1 Doritos Locos Tacos, some Cinna Twists, and of course that large fountain drink with the collectible player cups. Nothing hits better going home from a W and stopping by at your local Taco Bell, picking up a Buffs Box, supporting the program, and just getting some good eats in with it as well. It's big flavor, great value, and another great Buffs tradition. Only at participating Colorado and Front Range Taco Bell locations. Sco Buffs and Live Moss at Taco Bell.
And shout out to our good friends, the squad over at the Gold Crown Foundation, man, who are hosting a super cool event this weekend, man. This Saturday, August 29th from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. at the Gold Crown Fieldhouse is the Healthy Kids Expo, man. It's a free event, man. It's the ultimate family fun day, man. They're going to have 30 exhibitor stations for kids to engage in, man, from sports, health, and wellness. I think the Nuggets show is going to be doing a live show from that event as well, man. They're going to have free mini sports skill camps as well for the kiddos, and the kiddos can also meet and greet some Colorado legends. We're talking Rocky, Miles, Chip.
Hey, shout out my guy Miles.
Shout out to Miles, man. Some Denver Broncos alumni, college athletes, some Nuggets ambassadors, and so much more. Also doing some giveaways for families, man. Some free tickets, gift baskets, a new bike, and plenty more prizes. So RSVP ahead of time at goldcrownfoundation.com/events/kids expo. And shout out to the Gold Crown Foundation. Hey, y'all funny in the chat
hilarious,
today,
bro.
I love y'all.
Anything else from media?
Nah, man. What we got next?
We're doing UCF matchups.
Let's do it.
Last one of the season. Wow. We actually made it through all these this year.
For sure. Honestly, perfect timing.
I know.
Knocking out our last one with 1 week before week one's kickoff. We kind of cooked there.
The Battle of Black and Gold, it is back. This was a turning point for the Buff season 2 years ago in 2024.
Yeah.
While this matchup it's pretty much not going to carry the same weight, being a season finale and all that, but you never know what these two teams could be playing for when that day actually comes.
Mm-hmm.
Starting off with quarterback, Alonze Barnett at UCF led the Dukes, right?
Yeah.
The Dukes?
Yeah, James Madison.
To the CFP last year. He is a solid starting quarterback. He is a dual threat. Passed for 2,800 yards, 23 touchdowns to 8 interceptions, had 15 rushing touchdowns, and nearly 600 rushing yards on the ground. He also fumbled 3 times. So total that all up, that is 38 touchdowns to 11 turnovers. That is pretty darn good. This is a team, though, that's kind of in flux. A lot of new changes, a lot of new pieces. I mean, this is very Colorado, West Virginia, Utah-esque in that we really don't know what we're going to get from them. And we may not really know until the end of this month exactly what this team is about, or the end of September, I guess I should say.
Some talent on this roster, though. I can't lie. At least offensively, at the skill positions in particular. Obviously, we talk about Alonze Barnett a few times this offseason. I'm probably the Alonze Barnett guy on the show here. I really like his game. I thought he was really impressive last year, obviously leading JMU to the playoff. Really explosive, efficient, in the passing game. Completion percentage 58 last year. Obviously could use some work, but dynamic as a runner and really just a winner. So I like this get for Scott Frost, to be honest, because I think last year with Taven Jackson, I believe he was very up and down. And obviously so was their season. I think Alonzo Barnett kind of gives them a much higher floor.
I mean, from an experience standpoint, this isn't close. Alonzo Barnett is a senior. He had a tremendous year in terms of production last year, but you know, I'm still, if I had to, you know, the two of them are in front of me and it's Julian or Alonzo Barnett, I'm still picking Julian for the 2026 season.
Me too. And I think that's really simply put.
So
if you could pick your quarterback, who would you rather have for any given game on a Saturday?
I mean, he ain't going 38 touchdowns to 11 turnovers in the Big 12. If he does that, he's potentially in the Heisman Trophy conversation. So
no, straight up. And also too, like they look pretty good. He looked pretty. He looked all right in the playoff against Oregon. Obviously, they put up points.
They were completely outmatched.
Exactly right, particularly on defense. So, but yeah, I think Julian certainly gets the edge here.
Running back.
They got a guy coming back, Landon Chambers. Not coming back.
He's from Central Arkansas?
Arkansas transfer,
Okay.
yeah. Really good there last year. 1,200 yards rushing, 10 touchdowns, over 5 yards a carry. Gave him a little bit in the passing game. 27 catches, 238 yards receiving as well last year. Behind him, not much production or experience. They also brought in a Louisville running back transfer, Duke Watson, who ran for 150 yards and a touchdown last year. But other than that, they're depending on some younger guys as it relates to depth. But Landon Chambers, the Central Arkansas transfer, appears to be their top guy at running back.
I mean, and he's a good player. I just think room-wise, I'd rather take CU.
Yeah.
Personally.
Especially when you add in the go-go element of it, knowing this team is going to creatively run the football.
What was the Kalen stats at Incarnate Ward?
He ran for like 909 yards that last year there. Obviously gave you a little bit in the passing game as well, but I think 909 is actually the exact number, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, I gave you 909 on the ground and 163 through the air. So, you know, obviously Chambers was a little bit more productive at his last stop, but there's a direct comparison there. And I'm just going to take Damian Henderson and Micah Welsh.
Yep. Chambers got some good size too, listed at 5'11", 215. Good size.
For sure.
But CU gets the edge. And CU will get the edge here at receiver as well, as we know. UCF did add one guy from Monmouth, Lamont Lester Jr., old teammate, Josh Derry. 73 catches last year for 1,100 yards and 13 touchdowns.
It's great production.
Last year at Monmouth. Dwayne Thomas is another guy that I've heard of. Was at Charlotte a couple years ago. He was at UCF last year. Was pretty good, 500 yards. No touchdowns, but 53 catches as well. Colorado's just got 4 or 5 dudes who would be the top 4 or 5 dudes at UCF.
5 or 6 who would be the top guy at UCF.
I was trying to be nice.
Tight end. This is actually one that could be close for Colorado. You're a big fan of Dylan Wade's game.
Yeah, he's nice.
He's coming in from Maryland, I believe.
No, he was at UCF last year.
Okay.
He started his career at Maryland, yeah.
All right, that's right. Started at Maryland. Had 43 receptions for 523 yards and 5 touchdowns for the Knights last year. He was a guy I think we took in our Steal a Player.
I think so.
From UCF.
He would have been like the only one we would have wanted from UCF.
Yeah, and I think you were even considering putting him first team on your ballot, right?
I was. Yeah, I mean, it was either going to be Terrence Carter Jr. at Texas Tech or Dylan Wade here. Last year, 43 catches, 523 yards, 5 touchdowns, 12 yards a catch, 6'2", 240. Like this is a receiver, a big receiver playing tight end for UCF, and I would assume that a lot of their passing game is gonna go through Dylan Wade this year. So, really excited about Zach Atkins. I think he's on the verge of a breakout here this year. We like some of the guys behind him in terms of Fisher, our guy Brady Kopitz, Brick as well, but I think Dylan Wade. Because of the pass catching prowess, because I think they're gonna, like I said, really feature him. I could see UCF getting the edge here at tight end.
Didn't really grade out well at all when it came to being a run blocker, though. So
I mean, on punt rallies, they gave him an F.
Yeah.
So, like I said, he is a big receiver playing tight
end. Which one did you give it to?
Give it to UCF.
Okay, we'll give this one to them. Offensive line wise, This is another rebuilt offensive line in the Big 12. I guess their most proven guy, two of them, I guess, will be Henry Tabanasi, coming in from Buffalo last year. He played 828 snaps for the Bulls, Buffalo Bulls.
That sounds right.
Yeah. And then Preston Cushman coming in from Ole Miss.
He was there last year, but yeah, transferred from Ole Miss the year before.
Ole Miss the year before, yes. He played 78% of snaps for UCF last year. Both guys listed at 6'5", Tabanasi at 306, Cushman at 305.
Probably their tackle duo right there, I would assume.
Do they have a player listed above 315 is their biggest offensive lineman, it looks like.
Huh. And he's a freshman. He's a true freshman.
No one's calling them small.
No, exactly right. And honestly, and obviously sizes and everything on the offensive line. I was inclined originally to go with our question marks here, but hearing that, I'm inclined to give it to Colorado here.
May as well.
Because of the experience, which they have an edge in, size, which they have an edge in. And, I mean, hearing Brennan Marion talk about that unit today in terms of if you're not I'll say it again, if you're not a soul snatcher, like you can't play for me.
True.
So I'm willing to give Colorado the edge here at O-line.
I'm with it. Let's do it. Jesus. Run defense. Okay. Starting with the defensive line here. Bruno Dow coming in from Arkansas.
Akron.
Thank you. That's what that is. 44 total tackles, 17 solo, 8 TFLs, 4 sacks, 6 hurries.
How he get 6 PBUs? In a big two.
Hey, good for him.
He might be a dog.
Good for
I
him.
ain't gonna lie.
He plays on the edge. Dean Miller. Yes. That Dean Miller is on this football team. Last year for Kansas, 29 tackles, 4 TFLs, 1 sack, 4 quarterback hurries. That's it. That's who's playing edge for them, pretty much, right?
All my homies hate Dean Miller.
I mean, if you know, you know. And if not, you should look it up, and you should know. But otherwise, I mean, Isaiah Nixon's a player they got out of the high school ranks in 2023. He had a decent year last year, only 24 total tackles, 4 TFLs, 1 sack, though. This is solid. Defensive tackle wise, you're bringing in a guy from Oregon State, Thomas Collins. He had 30 tackles, 5 TFLs, a sack, 6 hurries. He did get his paws on 2 passes for 2 PBUs. RJ Jackson's another guy, 2 PBUs, 2 sacks, 24 total tackles. I mean, you tally it all up on the defensive line.
This is run defense, right?
Yes, this is run defense. It's quick maths. 11 plus about 35 TFLs from last year ish.
Gotcha. Does that include the linebackers?
It does not include the linebackers.
Because I got one guy from Old Dominion last year who kind of went off. 71 tackles, 10 TFLs, 3 sacks from Jaleel Colbreth last year at Old Dominion playing linebacker. But aside from him and Bruno Dahl on the defensive line, not much proven production or players you can point to and be like, yeah, that's somebody who's going to come in and be a real impact player. Again, maybe other guys that we don't know of or not too aware of could emerge. But as it relates to run defense, I'm not seeing a guy with Gideon ESPN Lamprin's type of production or Leonga Leafow's.
Santana Hopper,
exactly right. So
totally.
I think Colorado also gets the edge here at run defense.
We'll give it to them. Pass rush. So just total sacks on this roster from the year before in 25. We've got 6 at linebacker. You've got 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 on the defensive line. And then you're getting 1 from a safety in the secondary.
Yeah. A lot of guys with 1 or 2 sacks.
Yeah.
Last year.
I mean, even guys that they're bringing in, Dean Miller, he had 1 sack last year at Kansas.
Yeah.
Obviously, Colorado's a little banged up at that position right now, but...
Do you remember Americ Kumba?
Excuse me?
Do you remember Americ Kumba? He transferred from Michigan 2 years ago.
I don't know.
How do you not know the Michigan man, bro? What are we doing here?
We've had a couple roster redos recently.
Fair enough. Nothing is standing out to me that makes me think that UCF should get the check here as well. So I think that's what we're going to do and give it to Colorado.
Give it to them. And then pass coverage. I mean, we can go through the stats and do the whole thing here, but let's be honest. Come on, man.
I mean, Jaden Bellamy last year at UCF did have 8 PBUs and a pick. Antoine Jackson was another guy. He's also a really good punt returner for them as well. He had 4 PBUs. Braden Marshall last year, a guy they recruited out of high school, had 2 picks as well. So they got a few, I hesitate to call them ball hogs, but guys who have some on-ball production. Forget TJ Branch is in their secondary as well, actually.
Is he starting or anything? Or?
Hard to tell, but I know we liked him at some points last spring.
He was solid during the spring for sure.
Exactly.
I don't think we saw him much during the game at all, honestly. I can't really give a full breakdown there.
But again, not really seeing guys who can match up with the production that Bout Carter has had. Certainly Random Fontenette, Nate Mitchell, even at a lower level.
Mm-hmm.
This looks like, I think, what we expect the Colorado UCF game to look like as well, assuming things at that point in the season are going the way that they should. Obviously, this game is going to be played in Boulder, late November outside for those boys coming from Orlando. So, yeah, I think that looks about right.
I agree. All right, there it is. We did it. Matchups every single game this offseason.
This guy in the chat says, UCF's head coach is Scott Frost, and he's a former Nebraska player and coach. Therefore, Colorado will never beat UCF because Colorado never beats anything Nebraska related. Say that again. You said that on the mic, Dion. Make sure.
Say it.
I personally beat him twice.
There you go.
Just like that. And you only got to go back to 2024, 2 years ago, when Colorado beat UCF.
23.
But thank you, 2023. Thank you. Yeah,
Wait,
no, that was
UCF
24.
or Nebraska? Who are you talking about?
I'm talking about UCF. He said Colorado
Okay.
will never beat UCF, which they did in 2024.
Shout out Unc.
Let's
Appreciate
go,
you, homie.
Unc. Okay. Night practice schedule. Get ready for the time. Okay,
Hey,
let's go.
There you go. All right. It's time. We're back.
Let's do it.
We got games to pick.
Let's get it.
So let's do it, man. It is week 0. We're counting these in the season-long standings.
Yes, I think so.
Okay. I've got RK's picks as well.
No hammer, though, from him yet.
No hammer from him. We'll allow him tomorrow
Sure.
to decide
Fair
what he's
enough.
going to drop the hammer
Any
on.
of these games tonight? None of these games are tonight that
No.
we're picking, right? Okay.
We got FCS tonight. This is for Saturday's games, week 0, Power 4 football. I guess you would call these the headliners of the weekend. It's not a bad week 0 slate. We've definitely had worse.
It's an average week 0 slate, about what you would expect.
All right. The North Carolina Tar Heels and TCU Horned Frogs are going to face off in Dublin, Ireland. Did you know after this game, TCU only has 4 road games on their schedule?
Wow. That's a good reason, I think, to name them as an overachiever, like we did yesterday on our superlative show.
Mm-hmm. Matt, I mean, geez, I saw today there's a headline that North Carolina is going to be without Steve Belichick, their defensive coordinator, who's been missing time for a medical reason going back to August. Obviously, it's been a little bit calmer in North Carolina this offseason than last year, but it's still not good, and I still don't know if they have a Power 4 complete roster.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, TCU, I think that TCU is just not getting enough hype. They dog walked North Carolina in this matchup last year. It wasn't close. I think North Carolina had an opening drive touchdown that got everyone super hyped.
Yes.
And then it ended up being like a 49-10 final score.
It was 48-14.
So this line has moved significantly as well. Just a few days ago, it was 7.5 in favor of the Horned Frogs. It is now 9.5. We are now encroaching on double digits for TCU. I will be siding with the Horned Frogs.
As will I, man. I actually heard, I forgot his name, JD Piquel talking about this recently, and I thought he made a good analogy, a good point. He was like, I'm big on how things smell, right? When you're tasting food, and things smell
Sure,
good.
yes.
Same with people, like, how people smell, like, could, turn you on or turn you off.
For sure.
The way this North Carolina football program has smelled under Bill Belichick.
P.U.
Yuck. Stinky. I mean, for so many reasons.
Yeah.
And for all the reasons you said also about TCU, like I think I think they have an edge at quarterback. North Carolina named Billy Edwards their starting quarterback. Billy Edwards is somebody who I watched a little bit last year at Wisconsin. Didn't play much. Didn't look good. He started his career at Maryland. Didn't play much. Didn't look good when he did. He had really had 1 year of like actually starting and playing games in 2024 at Maryland. He threw for 2,800 yards, threw 15 touchdowns, had 9 interceptions though. He can run a little bit, but I think TCU is going to have the advantage at quarterback. I think they just have a better roster and the better vibes, certainly. So I am a bit nervous about this being a 9.5-point line for a week 0 game, especially overseas in Ireland.
Dublin, Ireland.
But there's nothing in me that can make me pick North Carolina. So give me TCU.
I'm just looking through North Carolina's roster right now, and
You ain't going to find much you like, gang.
I mean, wow. Wow.
No, for real. I assume we're all 3 on TCU.
Yeah, it's a clean sweep. We're all 3 on TCU.
Exactly, Essence Services. Exactly.
Second matchup. One of Brennan Marion's former quarterbacks, Jaden Marve at UNLV, now his second year as the starting quarterback for Lincoln Riley in the USC Trojans, going up against San Jose State, and Danny Scudero ain't suiting up for them this year. The line is 38.5. The Trojans are the number 14 team in the country.
What side are you on? What side are you on here?
I'm taking USC.
I think for me, this is probably the most difficult one. Why? Why are you taking USC?
Why am I taking USC? It's honestly not even because of the offense. I think they've got a ton of talent on defense this year. There were a lot of guys that stood out to me last year, and I think they kept a lot of them. And, you know, he finally got rid of Alex Grinch at DC a couple of years ago. Like, they were actually playing defense out there in Southern Cal. So,
did you see, which I thought was dope, USC released their depth chart? The school did for week 1. For this game, or week 0 for this game.
Kind of unheard of. Is it actually a depth? Is it, or is it just a bunch of oars?
No, it's actually like they pretty much only like 2 for each position. Starter, backup.
Hey, good for them.
They got 5 true freshmen starting for them.
Oh yeah, I mean
Brett Colway, Colorado guy, is in there 2 deep at guard.
Okay.
But you know, Luke Waffle, the edge, 5-star edge, who looks like, he already kind of looks like an NFL player as a true freshman.
Mm-hmm.
They're going to be playing some young guys. I'm just trying to look. They didn't play last year. I mean, Texas beat them 38-7 last year. That wouldn't cover here.
Nope.
They didn't really get smacked in any game San Jose State did last year, except Nevada, weirdly, 55-10.
Well, the quarterback left too, right? The guy who was slinging it to Danny Scudero.
Yeah, I think he's now at Duke.
Right.
Again, this is the toughest one for me, honestly. I am going to say that.
Come on, just make a pick.
I'll go San Jose State to keep it within 38.
Okay.
Am I on an island there?
You are not. RK is also
damn it.
taking. What are they? The Spartans? This is Spartans versus Trojans. This is the war for Troy.
Yeah.
All right. I am lone wolfing it on USC. That's fine.
Give me a 45-7 final.
I'd be sick. I'd be sick. This game moved, I guess, towards the underdog as well. NC State at Virginia, an ACC matchup for week 0. Virginia played in the ACC title game in December. It was a close, hard-fought game. They just named Bo Pribula their quarterback. They had Chandler Morris last year, who was denied a waiver to be eligible for the season, but Bo Pribula was a starting quarterback at Mizzou as well. That being said, NC State has one of the quarterbacks who has the potential to go on and have a monster year. CJ Bailey, I believe is his name.
Correct.
This guy, as a young player last year, just balled out. He was a true sophomore, 25 touchdowns to 9 interceptions, 68% completion, 3,100 passing yards. He also added 200 rushing yards and 6 touchdowns on the ground. NC State's always kind of hung in there as just like they have talent.
Mm-hmm.
They just never really able to put it all together. I am taking the Wolfpack. I did not. Do I need to?
Very lengthy for Virginia.
Oh yeah, I'm definitely taking it.
Very lengthy for Virginia. I also really like CJ Bailey, man. I think he's one of the most dynamic dual threat quarterbacks in college football. I think he's in for a big year.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to side with Virginia, though. I think the coaching, I think...
Big Tony Elliott guy, huh?
Yeah.
All right.
Not a big Tony Elliott guy, but I think he's a damn good coach. And I think while NC State has the edge at quarterback, I think Virginia is going to have the edge at a lot of the other important positions, the trenches, particularly on defense. They're at home, right? This is at home. This is not like a neutral site game or anything.
I will double check. This is in Charlottesville, Virginia.
Yeah, I'll take Virginia at home.
That's a big game for week 1. This is a 1:30 kickoff as well, so middle of the day. RK took NC State as well. So
Nice.
RK and I are taking CJ Bailey to bring us home as a dog. This line also moved towards the underdog. Stanford was a 5.5 point favorite. They are now only 4 point favorites after the line has moved over the course of a few days. This matchup last year was, I think this is one that got you, right?
Yep.
It was on the island.
Yep.
And you took Stanford still, I think.
That is all correct, brother.
And it did not go well.
That is all correct.
This one, however, is in, where do they play? Palo Alto?
Yeah, that sounds right.
Stanford Stadium. Look, man, I can't tell you much about these two teams at all other than that Andrew Luck is the GM of the Stanford Cardinal. That's pretty much it. You go first. I've picked first often here.
Give me Hawaii.
Really?
I am hammering Hawaii as well here.
Oh, Scotty.
I am hammering Hawaii. If y'all don't know about Micah Alahado,
Okay.
y'all finna learn about Micah Alahado.
Well, educate us. Come on.
He is, in my opinion, one of the best young, like true young quarterbacks in college football. He was really impressive last year, particularly down the stretch for the Rainbow Warriors last year for Hawaii. Micah Alahado, 3,100 passing yards, 24 touchdowns to just 9 interceptions. He is from Vegas. This is a guy who I said, especially down the stretch last year, like he was really dynamic. Threw for 450 against Air Force, threw for 400 against Utah State, 360 against San Jose State, threw for 274 and 3 touchdowns in the bowl game against Cal, a game that they won and kind of came back in crazy fashion. So give me Hawaii, give me Micah Alahado, and I am hammering the Rainbow Warriors. The first hammer of the 2026 football season.
All right.
What side you on? While you over here doing research and whatnot.
I don't know. Did you know that Jordan Onovu is on Stanford?
Stanford? I did know that, yeah.
I did not.
Shout out
actually.
Jordan O.
I just found that out. I'm just looking for familiar names on this Stanford roster.
Good luck.
But you know what? I don't think I care. I think that I'm just going to take Stanford and hope that they play Stanford football and just bully Hawaii.
Good.
So I will be taking the Cardinal. RK is siding with you, taking the Rainbow Warriors.
Oh, yeah.
Let me mark this down. All right. Last game. Another big number. This line has not moved over the week much. The New Mexico State Aggies. You got 2 of them on Colorado. FSU, man. It's now or never. And even then, I think it might be past now or never. Real quick, we are headed to overtime here shortly. If you're watching on the website, head on over, or if you're watching on your television, head on over to the website, thednvr.com, to wrap up the show.
I don't really know what to make of this game, but
What's Pop's been saying about FSU in the lead up to this year? How's he feeling?
that's where I was going to go. He ain't been saying much. No. He ain't been saying much, but I am still going to roll with FSU solely, exclusively because of my Pops. And if Florida State doesn't cover this line,
God bless you, Scotty.
That's on him. And he going to have to rectify that and make that right. So I think week 1, I don't know how many wins Florida State's going to have this year. Yeah. But I think week 1 or week 0 in this case against the New Mexico State team that at the very least lost 3 of their very best players from last year. I think Deuce Robinson is going to be very tough to guard.
He's a monster.
By any New Mexico State defensive back. Chroma, their running back, is a really talented guy as well. I think like this is going to be a spot where Norvell, feeling the pressure, feeling the hot seat, wants to make a statement against a team that he should be able to do so. So I'm going to side with you, Pops, man. Let's go Noles this weekend. Let's get it.
Oh, Lord. A couple of years ago, I'm without a doubt taking NMSU in this matchup. I just don't know if I believe in the program enough at this point. I really don't want to. Actually, let me think. Do I really want to even do this? I think I'll be more mad at myself if I take FSU and they don't cover. So I'm going to take New Mexico State still.
Fair enough.
Sorry, Pops. We can talk about it when we head to Chicago here in a couple weeks.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm going to take NMSU. RK is also taking Florida State.
Okay.
So there you go. I have not picked a golden hammer. So let me, with the information you gave me and how much I like CJ Bailey, I will hammer NC State.
Okay. Were we all 3 on a team?
Yeah, we had 1 clean sweep. TCU.
Right.
Against North Carolina.
That's the only one, though?
Yep.
Cool.
That is the only one.
Cool. Should be fun, man. Football is back, man. FCS gets kicked off tonight. And yeah, man, it's here.
Appreciate you, Osmo and Ronaldo. That was fun. We should have a pretty cool show tomorrow. Mm-hmm. Not ready to reveal it just yet, but if you want a sneak peek, stay tuned to the socials. We should have an announcement, or maybe we won't have an announcement. You know, who knows? But that's it. We are under 7 days now until Colorado kicks off the 2026 season.
It's here.
See you guys tomorrow. Let's go Buffs.
We all silly like the mayor.